Alright, you all live.
Oh, let me not say that.
Oh, I should have did.
Niggas looking for the light. Make my niggas prepared for the dog. Yeah. So we gon' get it on for the last days, nigga. You already know what it is. 140 for the rubber.
They in the building, we in the spot. We can go to war and see who make it out. Earn your stripes, dog. You with us or not? We can get it on when it's on. It don't never stop. First you get that power, gotta hold it down. Watch your step, boy. You on holy ground. They in the building, we in the spot. We can go to war and see who make it out. It's a problem, tell them pop ball. I die for I let my colors fly, boy. For a nigga take me, they'll drop dead. AR, clean them up like a mop head. Say he cool, he bad, he really so tough. They like, damn, look what he did, it really go rough. Little bitch think she Kiki Palmer, silly hoe. She know I'm that bull, but I ain't from Philly though. From the city where they say about that river like Perry Poops. Know them niggas plotting, gotta deal with me. Can't catch me slipping, got to steal with me. Just left Alabama, bought a chopper from some hillbilly move. He made play, leave them all bruised, come through like a plague. Rebel off the leash like a dog out the cage. Call me Johnny Blaze on Run West May. Watch your step get stretched like a limousine. So my brother bring that blade back wet. That's my enemy. A little nigga, this that cult need to talk. Niggas know I got blood in my cup. I just sip it like it's grenadine. They in the building, we in the spot. We can go to war and see who make it out. On your stripes, dog, you with us or not. We can get it on when it's on, it don't never stop. First you get that power, gotta hold it down. Watch your step, boy, you on holy ground. They in the build, we in the spot. We can go to war, let's see who make it out. Tell them niggas good night, here come the bitch. Look, told them niggas get right or get limp. You PK by mine, I been to your flick. Hellboy, rip the soul out of dead man shit. Got the rate, the power, I been a showstopper. Yeah, they might hate, but I know they gon' watch. Zone on lock, and you know the flow prop. Iced out, got the drip out of David Jones lock. Know I got the pain, they say that you the man. No shit, Sherlock, I'm the one you heard about. Burn down the building, let them all watch. Throw that one west up, then I swerve out. Sick with this shit, I do not need a detox. He don't watch a step, blow him out them Reebok. We taking over, I'm sending the word out. Can't see me, little nigga, I put you in a bird box. Look, it's one west practical, gladiator maximum. Creep on them slow, but they Glock fire rapid. All I want is more power, more straps to blow. Ain't got excuse for no cow, he gon' have to go. They in the building, we in the spot. We can go to war and see who make it out. On your stripes, dog, you with us or not. We can get it on when it's on, it don't never stop. First you get that power, gotta hold it down. Watch your step, boy, you on holy ground. They in the building, we in the spot. We can go to war and see who make it out.
For the rebel, Billy man shit, nigga. Head on, nigga.
Pray where Eve did to Adam, I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the eye like stamps and I can't let no hoe that lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Nigga think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying. This shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Suckle up and stay alert. Another cop can stretch the nigga. He ain't demon, it's an exorcism. Watch I bless the nigga. You took that oath in blood, then you know I'm gonna get active with you. Fuck the opposition, I see vision. Let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spin, I ain't listening. Is it fact or fiction? Revenge was a woman, now I stroke that bitch like Jack the Round War. We gon' run the summer, it's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't do that, bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it Young Bear. How you real triggering on them dots, you a bird feeder. Claiming he a demon, what's a demon to a call leader? When he said something, I ain't hear him, this shit like it ain't on who got the gun, it's on who gon' up that fight first. I turn a bad situation to a game change. Soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chain. Free shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand and feed you, you will never get that hand back. Bitch about 10%, I don't want to hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brother's bed. Everybody wanna be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. I'm a certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, I with that hollow son, yeah, this the real McCoy. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still up on my bread, still I think that's all that I enjoy. I get it boy lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his gang, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check.
Mic check 1 2 1 2
1 2
1 2 1 2.
Check.
Welcome to a special edition of Cross the Line Radio, hosted by Captains Tazaryak and Captain Kadazar. We got a good show for y'all here today. We're gonna play some feedback. We had talked about this. Kadazar was doing a radio show, I believe, last Thursday, and we was talking about the situation. Of course, everybody knows about the situation in the state of Israel between the Palestinians or the Hamas and the Israelis over there. And, you know, it's definitely been a frenzy and a furor covering a lot of the news coverage that we see out there. People taking sides. Of course, we as Israelites, we have our own perspective that land doesn't belong to any of them. So there'll always be war there. But there were some interesting things that took place. And one of them was the former basketball player, Amar'E Stoudamire. I believe he goes by the name of Jehoshaphat as far as being an Israelite goes. And he made some interesting statements, and that prompted his brother Jarrell, who we'll be bringing on. He's in our back chat, not in our back chat. He's in our back audience right now. We just wanted to give a proper introduction. He reached out to Captain Kadazar, and when he reached out to Kadazar, he said that he kind of disagreed and he wanted to speak for the Stoudamire'S. I would say it like that. And of course, he'll be able to explain fully from his position. We'll ask him questions, get his perspective. We're going to play the video as well. So we're just going to see how this goes. Kadazar, was there anything you want to add?
I mean, just you know, I seen the clip, you know what I mean, and I just you know, like I have a couple of clips queued up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the clips that I have queued up is there was an interview that was done with a couple of brothers that identify as Israelites. And the next day, as soon as he got a little bit of pushback, you know what I'm saying, from, you know what I'm saying, the quote unquote Jewish community, where they wanted to even revoke his conversion, you know what I'm saying, he turned around and, you know, wanted to first deny all connections to anybody, you understand, who is a Black, Latino, or Native Indian that identifies as an Israelite. But two, you know, there was no hostility, no feedback. So a community that would disown you so quickly, you would turn on your people so quick. And what I mean by that is, can we get straight to the clip?
Yeah, definitely.
You know, what I mean by that is, so I got,
you know, that's what the brother's here for. And so we want to get the clip in, and we want to, you know, let him come in, and, you know, we got a couple of questions for him. So we definitely want to get to it.
I got the brother in the back chat. I gave him a text that let me know whenever you're ready to come in. But what I want to do is I'm gonna share the screen real quick.
You should bring him on. You should bring him on. I mean, I think he's ready. Whenever he wants to chime in, he can chime in. That way we can play the clip together. We can watch it together. You know, he'll be part of the audience.
Okay, no sweat. I'm gonna bring the brother in now.
There we go. Appreciate you joining, Jarrell. How you doing today?
What's up, people?
All right. Welcome to Cross the Line Radio. We appreciate you reaching out to Kadazar and being able to be a voice in a time of, you know, sort of confusion to hear Amar'E make that statement. It was real weird to me. So we definitely appreciate you reaching out. I believe Kadazar is going to play the clip first, and you can chime in. You know, feel free to chime in as you see fit. Of course, Kadazar and myself will ask questions. There may be some questions in the chat that might be proposed to you, but just feel free to interject and speak as you see fit, brother.
Yes, sir.
And definitely before we play the clip, like if you want to give, you know what I'm saying, a brief introduction, you know what I'm saying, as to who you are, you know what I'm saying, and how we got here today, and then we could get to the clip as well.
Yeah. I'm Jarrell Stoudamire, the younger brother. We got another younger brother and a couple of sisters coming from the Stoudamire family representing, you know. I seen the clip and somebody sent me the cross the line interview or blog, and I watched it. I watched the video on YouTube, and I had to go ahead and contact you because it's a lot more to it. I got a lot more insight on it, and like I told my other brother last night, it's more out there. It's more people out there. People need to hear this.
Hey, when you say you told your brother last night, so I'm assuming y'all spoke about you coming on the show?
No, I spoke to my younger brother.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. Like, you spoke to your younger brother about coming on to the show?
Yeah.
Okay. And what was his opinion for you coming on to the show? Like, was he approving? Was he not? If you don't mind.
No, he was just trying to questioning my motives, you know what I'm saying, and making sure that I'm not just bashing. You know what I'm saying? That I keep it real, and just he's just checking the motive, just making sure my mind is in the right place.
And you know, I think that's a normal thing to do. You know, a family member going to speak about another family member, the brother wants to reach out to make sure it's not, like you said, like a bashing. You just speaking on what he said, not your relationship as a brother, but just a statement that he said. So I don't think that's really, you know, a bad thing to ask. You know what I mean? So that's why I wanted to ask. And so and it's good that you said that so that the people can hear that it's not a I'm bashing my brother thing. We would never want to represent you in that fashion. But I believe the statement that he made is what you want to speak about. So for those listening, this is not about necessarily bashing Amar'E as Jarrell's brother. But when you hear a statement like that, it should be addressed. And if we are brothers and sisters, or even brothers and sisters in Christ, we should be able to have this type of conversation and it's not looked at as bashing. Because if he doesn't say that, Jarrell doesn't reach out. First, we don't make a clip. Jarrell doesn't reach out to us. We don't have this conversation. So it's only because of what he said as the reason that we're here. So I just want to point that out.
And I wanted to add, I actually don't have a problem talking about our personal life or whatever. Like I told my younger brother, that's also, I mean, I'm still not bashing. I still would like for people like, for him and people like him to get a wake up call. You know what I mean? And because there's more to it. If I'm honest with you, it'll sound like I'm bashing, but the truth is the truth.
Right.
And like I told your partner, it's more to this disconnection. He's not just disconnected from the true people, but all the way down to family, brothers, sisters. You know, the disconnection, it goes all the way. I mean, I kind of feel bad for him. I mean, because, you know, he made it to the NBA at 18.
Right. Because he came straight out of high school, right?
Right.
Right.
So that's a super influential age, you know, like.
Right. Right.
So, yeah, so he, you know, he pretty much been in that. He's been rich his whole life. He's been in a part of those people his whole life, the upper echelon.
Gotcha.
So, you know, like I said, I'm not here to bash, but I just know that he's super disconnected, and I feel like I want to be a voice for me, for him, for any other quote unquote rich black people, you know, that has the key to success for everybody. Like, you know, they can open up doors. You know, and I just want to speak on all that stuff, the whole thing, because it's all connected. As soon as I seen this article, I automatically connected it with all the disconnections that people like him and also family members of these people that loved ones of these people that whose life gets washed away because it's cast under a shadow of who that person is, you know.
Right.
You know, I played football. I did some good things, and you wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I be in the newspaper. They don't even say my name. You know, so it's like it's more to it, man. A lot of people getting left behind, and the real ones that's actually willing to help the community and got a heart and a mind for the community.
Right.
Those are the ones that get left behind. Those are the celebrities' brothers or cousins or people that you never get to know. You know, people that never get an opportunity. So I'm also here to promote that too. I know it's more of us out there.
Facts. It definitely is. It definitely is. Okay. So Kadazai, you want to get the footage together, or did you have something you wanted to say?
So definitely just want to definitely get to the footage that brought us here today, because I think that's a major pillar inside the conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I'm gonna go through the share screen, and we got it right here. So this is the clip, you understand, that provoked, you know what I'm saying, basically this whole dialogue conversation that you've been hearing on, you know, Black Watch with Commander General Yohana, which is America on Fire. Captain Zaryak did some short clips about it, and then myself on Cross the Line. This is what sparked it.
I woke up, man, this morning with some disturbing news out of Israel. The Hamas kidnapping children, putting them in cages, killing women, killing the elderly. That's some coward shit. That's cowardly. And for all y'all Black Lives Matter who ain't saying nothing, well, let me figure out exactly what happened before I say anything. Fuck you.
I'm gonna pull it back a little bit.
Yeah, play that one more time.
Cowardly. And for all y'all Black Lives Matter who ain't saying nothing, well, let me figure out exactly what happened before I say anything. Fuck you.
So it was that clip right there which ended up provoking the conversation, because it's like, you know, the main thing that I was talking about on Cross the Line is, how do you go turning directly on your people? Like, this is what I want to know. Like, where was Israel during the Flint, you know what I'm saying, water, you know what I'm saying, during the Flint water crisis? Where was the state of Israel, you understand, for Tamir Rice, Akai Gurley, Corinne Gaines, you understand, Ricardo Diaz, all the brothers and sisters, you understand, that perished over here. And then even in the beginning of the dialogue, he's talking about children in cages. I don't hear them speaking up against the babies that's, you know what I'm saying, iced and came and snatched up, that they got in these concentration camps, you know what I'm saying, for people who try to cross the border. You know what I'm saying? Like, or the sister over there in the Bronx, you know what I'm saying, when the police kicked the door and she was a senior citizen, you know what I'm saying, that they put down. You know, so like, where's the compassion for our people? And I think that one of the main things we were talking about was how, you know, white love will make you hate black. And in that conversion, it from what it appears to me is that he has more love for converts than he does the people that he came up with, you understand, in America, you know, and that's really what provoked all of this.
Man, I definitely agree with you, if I can chime in on that.
Definitely. I was going to ask you, and I'm going to give you the range. Like, when you heard it, like, what went through your mind? Like, what did you think about, like, when you heard that right there?
I mean, knowing him personally, you know, knowing the journey, the religious journey that he's been on to get to this point. I mean, he's always been willing to sell out to get to his own goals, and whoever gets left behind gets left behind. I mean, so like I said, it relates to us as a people just as much as it relates to his brothers and sisters, like literally.
So you're just saying is, like, you know, once he got the NBA contract, there was a divide. But what I want to know is, once he converted, was there a further divide?
Yeah. I mean, it started off with the religion part of it. You know, what you should and shouldn't eat, what you should and shouldn't say. I mean, I get it. You know, it's a religion, it's a practice. So I mean, I don't knock nobody's practice, but the more people, like, his entourage was pretty much people that had to go along with whatever it is, whatever he's believing. That's what everybody around him is gonna believe. I've never been one of those people, so I never really fit in with the crowd. But yeah, it definitely caused a separation because some people started getting some common sense, and their pride started getting in the way because they would be around them and act like they're into it, but then when they get by themselves, they go, they talk down on it. So eventually they started parting ways. But honestly, it wasn't the people around him. He pushed everybody away.
So you saying it was something that was already within him? Was this something that you saw like before the conversion spiritually or after?
Before. I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say is, you see somebody that's with this topic that we're talking about. You see somebody in this situation. If you look into it, I believe that 9 times out of 10, you're going to find disconnections all over the board.
Right.
It's not just singular this situation. I mean, it's a person that once you start digging, there is no connections. So if you can turn your back on your blood brothers, then you can turn your back on your people. I mean,
so when you heard him say that, because of you already having that part of your relationship established, you weren't as surprised as like a me. Like
right?
somebody
No,
like me come along, and I'm saying somebody like me to represent outside because last year sometime there was some Israelite brothers that had interviewed him, and when they was interviewing him, either by the time that interview ended, you had the Jewish community create a room on Clubhouse, and in that community, they said Amar'E Stoudamire is standing with the BHIs. Now, BHI, for those that don't know, is a derogatory term that they use. It's BHI stands for Black Hebrew Israelite. It's like the equivalent of the N word from an American white. So if an American white was to use the N word, when the Jewish community says that word, that term BHI, it's the equivalent of the N word. And when he said it, I think I have the article. I'm gonna see if I can find it. He backtracked off of everything. So when he was having an interview with the Israelites like us, like the brothers, he was what you would call pro-black, like trying to mend the difference. But soon as he got some heat from the Jewish community, he backed up off it. I'm gonna see. I think I have it in my history. I'm gonna see if I can find it because I thought it was amazing when he said that he backtracked. So, and when I say backtrack so easily, I mean within that day.
right.
In that day, he backtracked off of it. So that's why I was saying, like, for somebody like you to hear it, it's not surprising, but for somebody like us, of course, it is. And
I
then
mean,
when you,
it's
oh, you
definitely
got
not.
it, brother.
It's definitely not surprising for me because I know, I know the ability he has to just buy into something so quick. I mean, that's it's part of the character that he's, pretty much established throughout his years of being from 18 to now. Like,
Right.
so it didn't surprise me. I know how far he'll go to buy into something that's pretty much against his people. I mean, family, people. I'm putting it all together.
So speaking of buying, like whenever election rolls around, I know which celebrities took a bag because they start talking about voting. You know what I'm saying? It's all of a sudden, the politics matter to them, but it didn't for the past 4 years. Like this statement, do you believe he was on payroll for that? Like, do you think, you know what I'm saying? Like that he took a bag for that, or is that just genuinely in him to protect those folks?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's a set amount of money that he would be getting, but I'm pretty sure he's protecting some affiliations. You know what I mean? Just to be in the club. You know what I mean? And so I don't feel like he's just saying so. I mean, like he's going with the narrative that's being taught to him, and I know how far he'll go with things. So yeah, I feel like he's trying to protect that, and this just shows how far he'll go to do that.
So that's him fighting for acceptance in that community.
Yeah, competitiveness, if you want to call it, or whatever. Like that's because once he got his mind set on something, obviously you see his success playing basketball. You know, once he got his mind set on something, you know, he can go for it hard. But it's always something that's not good for the people. You know, for us, it's always on the other side of the fence, if you will.
So does he actually aid their community, like over our community, like, you know, monetarily, or, you know what I'm saying? Like just in general, like, do you see him giving, you understand, more of, you know, what he's earned, as well as his love over to them before us? Because I mean it's obvious in the video, but you know what I'm saying, I think you'd have more of an insight than us.
Right. Like I said, I wouldn't say it was some set amount, but pretty much whatever it takes to stay on certain people's good side, and to prove, you know, he trying to prove himself to be all the way in good graces with the right people, or with the people he choosing. So, you know, it's I wouldn't say it's a set amount of money, but it's definitely a sellout type of situation.
Cap, did you ever find that?
The article?
Come on.
Yeah, I got it in front of me. So the article, what I want to highlight for those that don't know, and this article, it's in the forward. Maybe I could share my screen so y'all can actually watch it while I'm doing it. I'm going to first post a link in the chat. So if anybody wants to see what I'm reading, I'm putting a link in the chat. I'm going to now share my screen so that we can look at it together, so we can see what exactly I'm talking about. So this is on, so y'all should be able to see my screen now. So this is a Jewish independent nonprofit magazine or online thing called The Forward. And so as you can see, and I'm going to skim through this through time, and I'm going to give y'all the highlighted bullet points, which they actually put the bullet points in there. So in it says, Jewish former NBA star Amar'E Stoudamire trafficked in anti-Semitic conspiracy theories, and now says he doesn't mean it. So it says, Stoudamire referred to Jews of European descent as converts and embraced Christ in an interview on Clubhouse, because again, this is how he was speaking prior to being checked by the so-called Jewish man. This is exactly how he was speaking. So what they speak about is it starts off saying Amar'E Stoudamire cleans his house for Passover, quit his job with the Brooklyn Nets, and frequently photos himself learning the Talmud. But in the and again, I'm going for time's sake, you know, because it's a long article. I'm trying to go down as much as possible. But in an interview on Tuesday, Stoudamire said that Jesus Christ was the Messiah. This is a direct no-no to Jewish people. You cannot say that Jesus Christ is the Messiah. But that's exactly what Stoudamire said in the interview. It says, if that's what he was, if that's what he said he was, that he believed in the New Testament. You can't, excuse me, that he believed the New Testament was a continuation of the Old Testament. This is what he said when he was being interviewed by the Israelites, right? And the Jews of European descent are converts. This is also what he said. It says, this is the funny part, as all the hosts of the Hebrew Israelite program on the social media audio app Clubhouse gleefully concurred. Because of course, now, and the thing about gleefully and concurred, just so everybody can understand, whether it was Amar'E Stoudamire or whether it was a young man, if you say something that resonates with the people on the Clubhouse app, you can clap for anything. So it wasn't so much that it was just Amar'E Stoudamire, but it's just that he was saying something that we was in agreement with. So now it says clips of the interview surfaced Wednesday, and Stoudamire walked back on the comments Thursday, telling the forward. This is why I said it happened Wednesday. By Thursday, really, if you was on the Clubhouse app, it happened right away. But it says telling the forward that he was trying to indicate that he respected other beliefs and was avoiding the argument. It says Stoudamire said he joined the show. This is what he said. He said he joined the show to try to debunk anti-Semitic rhetoric in the Hebrew Israelite community. He says, this is his quote, I was trying to keep it cordial, but I probably should have been more firm and concise with what I hold and what I believe. So now he's telling them he should have fought harder against us. But if you actually listen to the audio, he was in total agreement with everything. It says, let me skip down. It says, his Clubhouse comments raised questions about what he truly believes that were not resolved despite his subsequent efforts to clarify them. Only the most radical Hebrew Israelite groups embrace anti-Semitism, but demonstrations by those groups in recent months have fueled concern in the Jewish community. So now we're going to highlight some of the things. I want to scroll down. I want to get to the things that he said. Bear with me. Okay, so now they're going to highlight some of the things he said. So it says, later on, responding to a question that labeled his participation in Orthodox Judaism as associating with the synagogue of Satan, because now this is what the Israelites are saying, because everybody knows our position. Our position is that we are the real Israelites, and the Jewish man over there, the so-called Jewish, pretending. So we call them the synagogue of Satan. So it says, Stoudamire told the host, if they're lying about who they are, that's between them and God. So in that statement, he's not denying or affirming that they are the synagogue of Satan, but for the Jewish community, they needed him to make a hard disaffirm of that. If disaffirm is a word, don't correct me. I understand. So it says, he said, that's got nothing to do with me. If God got a problem with them, then God got to take care of what he got to take care of. It don't stop me from learning what we taught them. Even when he says learning what we taught them, when he makes that statement, what he's implying when he says learning what we taught them, he's implying that blacks taught the so-called Jewish man, which is another thing that set them on fire. Because when you know it, because it says we the ones converted Gentiles into following what we call Judaism. So now what Amar'E is saying and taking the affirmative in is saying that we are the Israelites and we taught them. That's a no-no in his community. It says those remarks dovetail with comments he made earlier in the interview when he said the European Jews were descendant from Noah's son Japheth, which is what he also said. And once he says they from Japheth, that eliminates them from being Israelites. So everything that he's saying to the Israelite brothers is that the so-called Jewish man is not the Jew. That's what he's saying. So now, I'm gonna keep going. Orthodox Jews, he said, this is the other part he said. Orthodox Jews, he said, were descended from Esau, Jacob's brother. Jewish tradition regards Jacob as its direct ancestor and Esau as his seminal antagonist. What is the truth about this? This is absolutely true. Jacob is the direct ancestor and Esau is the seminal antagonist. And that's what we go through and suffer every day. It says, when asked whether he believed Jesus Christ was the Messiah, Stoudamire said, I mean, if that's what he said, he was. When the listener replied, so you believe that? Stoudamire said, yeah. I mean, obviously, we know that. So now, once all of that gets said, the Jewish community comes at him, and it says, speaking with the forward by phone on Thursday afternoon. Now, watch the flip. It says, regarding his comments about Jesus, he said he believed in one God, but while he said that, he believed that the Messiah had not arrived yet. So now he's backtracking, because in one breath he's saying Jesus was the Messiah. Now he's saying he believed the Messiah had not arrived yet. He declined to say whether he believed in the resurrection of Christ or not. Asking why he seemed to accept Christ as the Messiah on the show, Stoudamire said, I didn't want to start any arguments with them. I was trying to respect their beliefs, yet learn let them know where I stand. But he never let him know where he stand, because he didn't say that Christ was not the Messiah. He was in agreement. Regarding his comments about the synagogue of Satan, Stoudamire said people in the chat were lobbying anti-Semitic tropes at him, and he was trying to speak their language so he could parry with them, which he did a horrible job. Moshe Rabbeinu, the reason he was a great leader was, this is talk about Moses. The reason he was a great leader was because he could speak to everyone on their level. Stoudamire added, referring to Moses, so I had to somewhat use a tone and cultural type of conversation with them so they could understand what I'm saying. But there's nothing that he said that would make the brothers that was interviewing him believe that he was in contention. Everything about it was that he was in agreement. But he acknowledged he could have been, this is the part that's funny, he says, but he acknowledged he could have been more direct in condemning them, and called a reporter back to reiterate his regret for how he had come across on the show. This is his last response, and then we'll go. He said, this is a new space for me. I've never been in this position before. I don't know anyone in this position before me, so I have to really learn from, I have no one to really learn from and how to deal with this community. So I tried my best to take upon the courage to try to debunk them. So he telling the reporter he came in there to debunk us. But if anybody listened to that, there was no debunking whatsoever. So when after that occurs, and to the brother, I'll give it right back to you. After all of that, like, you see the flip-flop in there. So when he said, but even I didn't think that he would go so far as to say F you to the black community if you don't agree or support the Israelis. Brother, did you want to say anything? I know I was talking a long time.
No. Man, like you said, this surprises other people that don't know him.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it plays into the whole. It plays into who I know he is. What I will say is, I feel like us as a people have to learn how to deal with these types of leaders, if you want to call them that.
Mm-hmm.
We got to learn how to deal with them, because a lot of things we use common sense and logical thinking.
Right.
But people like him, I'm speaking for him, and I'm assuming that it's more of him. It's not malicious as it seems, but I mean, he's just desperate for a niche, you know. Obviously outside of basketball, you know, just trying to find a niche, and what I want to say is, people like him, like I said, if you dig into it, you'll always find that this is who they are. Like, you hear him saying flip-flopping, right? You hear him saying one thing, next thing you know, he's saying another. Well, that's who he is in real life.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say that, like, I guess, you know, we all seen the movie Get Out.
Right.
So people like him, you have to, like, he has some common sense going on there, some remembrance of who we are and what we're about, but it's just a small part. You know, it's just a small part. So it may come out like he has the common sense, but he kind of goes against it to feed into what he's trying to do with his life, you know.
So when you said, when you said he came, you know, of course he came straight to the NBA. Where did you start to see, like, the change, like, in his thought process? Like, was it as soon as he got to the NBA? Was over time? Because we know he's, you know, played on different teams. Played with Phoenix Suns, then he played with New York. So was it? Did you see it gradual, or was it like what was that change where you saw, like, his betrayal of, I would have to say, the black community, because he said F you to the black community. Right. So now we're at the point where now he's at F you to the black community if you don't support the Israelis. So where would you see, like, the beginning phase? Because I don't think you just come out and you just immediately say F you to your people. It has to be something that happens over some type of time. So where do you think you would see that, or where do you think you saw that point at?
That was I mean, as soon as the lights turned up, the spotlight, as soon as the spotlight hit him, I mean, it was wishy-washy from there.
So you saying as soon as he got the limelight or the contract, his position was clear.
Yeah, he was just floating. I mean, anybody that was close to him, that was, that's real close to him, if they was bold enough to tell the truth, like me, they all, he was in the clouds, man. So all this was already possible, because when you separate from your foundation, then anything is possible.
I agree. Kadazai, did you have anything?
I mean, I don't know if you I still have the clip queued up, like the article that you played. I have the actual audio from when he started flip flopping.
I think you should play it. Do you have a minute marker or timestamp of it?
I have a couple of them, so I'm gonna start in the beginning, play like maybe the first minute. Then there's another one at 11 and another one at 14.
Okay, good deal.
So from the dialogue that we had. So initially, remember, there was a dialogue that was held on Clubhouse. We were in the room that day, and they were conducting an interview, and brother was making what seemed like an attempt to connect with his actual people.
Right.
And then from there, as soon as the small hat community decided to rally against him.
Right.
This is the conversation as it switches. So I'm gonna start playing it for y'all now.
Okay. Some cats just hit me on that, like, just kind of keep me informed of what was going on. So I don't know what I'm not sure what's happening, but I just wanted to hit you up on the back end to see what was going on with the private conversation. So I jumped into the chat to see how things were going in here, because I was hearing that I was trying to be grouped up with certain groups. My job is only to try to help best as I can as far as edification and education. You know what I'm saying? That's my whole objective. And that's why I hit you up like, yo, what's going on with what's being said? But then you called me. I was already in the chat when you called me.
Yeah, I found that out. Later. So, on mute. Not you, yo, just I was just trying to understand, because you know what I'm saying, you text me out of nowhere and you said chill out. So I'm confused why you hit me saying chill out. What have we done?
I don't know if that was you or whoever was in the other chat. I just know it was in another chat saying that the chat you guys started had me associate me with the BHI group. And
nope, that's incorrect.
Hey, pause it for a second.
I was just hitting.
Yeah, I was just about to pause it for that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Go ahead, Kat.
No, you got it. Good, you got it. If you was gonna say something.
It's you see how easy he latches on to their terminology. Like you're like the day before it was OC. Now it's you associate me with BHIs.
Right.
So now he's using it like, you know what I'm saying? Like they use it. Like from him, it's a slur. What were you gonna say, Kat?
No, I was gonna say the same thing. For those that don't know, like, that's the switch. Like, we went from being brothers, we went from being fellow Israelites to now we're BHIs, because he's letting the small hats. I like that word, Kadazai. He's letting the small hats.
I got that from your boy.
I know. Small hats know I'm still on your side. I just had a hiccup. So now, and when you listen to it, he's gonna be saying BHIs often. So that's all I just wanted to highlight. You got it, Kadazai.
All right, I'm gonna play a little more of the beginning.
You up, because you're the person I kind of know that I've been speaking to.
I got you, bro. So if you look at the dude at the bottom, if you look towards the bottom, and excuse my children in the background, if you look towards the bottom, there's a guy named Andrew, right? And he has an Israeli flag in there.
What's up, yo?
Now the room that he was in is the one that.
Now, to give you context, this is a brother who helped conduct the interview, talking with Amar'E, and Andrew is like the small hat ringleader now.
Actually said Amar'E Stoudamire is a BHI.
That is correct.
You see that?
That's actually incorrect. I'm not a BHI.
I know.
I'm not sure why you said
I'm
that.
just responding to the gentleman. It was mentioned in that room as a statement.
Andrew, mute your mic. Andrew, mute your mic.
You got to pause it.
Oh, Salaki.
Bring it back a little bit. when he says that's incorrect. I'm not a BHI.
There's a guy named Andrew, right? And he has an Israeli flag in there.
What's up, yo?
The room that he was in is the one that actually said Amar'E Stoudamire is a BHI.
That is correct.
You know.
Wait. Now the Jewish guy
that's actually incorrect.
Now the Jewish guy says that is correct. Amar'E says that is incorrect because he's disassociating himself from the Negroes or from the N-words or the BHIs or anything derogatory. He's disassociating himself from us. That's what y'all have to understand, because like this is all meant. It's spiritual and it's a mental game. And so you're listening to the mental game that Amar'E played, where he galvanized the Israelites on one side, only to turn on him the minute his true master, the so-called white man, began to check him. You can keep going, Kadazar.
Stoudamire is a BHI.
That is correct.
You know. You see that?
That's actually incorrect. I'm not a BHI.
I know.
I'm not sure why you said
I'm
that.
just responding to the gentleman. It was mentioned in that room as is his statement. Some people.
Andrew, mute your mic. Andrew, mute your mic. Let Yawasai finish with Yehoshaphat, and then we're gonna continue to build.
Yeah, so I'm just letting you know, brother Yehoshaphat, that we did not dirt your name up. We did not associate you with us. We didn't do none of that. We had a beautiful interview.
Right.
And as soon as that beautiful interview was finished, the people associated with Andrew created a room and started to put slander on your name. So I just wanted to create the distinction that, bro, that's not us, bro. You good on our side, and we're here to protect you, brother. We're not here to slander you. We're not here to put any dirt on your name, bro.
Right.
That's not going to come from our side, bro.
So, Andrew, can you speak on why you would say that?
Oh, no, sir, I did not. There's people in the room. And by the way, I want to say also thank you for giving.
And this is what I want to know. So are they saying that the dirt is him associating with other Israelites? Like, is that the dirt? Because the whole conversation right there is, I am not associated. I am not a BHI. So is that the issue? Is that the dirt? You get what I'm saying? That
right.
that he can't be associated with real Jews. Let's see. So I'm play a little bit more, and then if you want, I'll skip to the next time slide.
Give me this chance to chat. There were people in the room that did say that they believe that you were part of BHI, and others said that there's no information showing that you were. So just to be clear,
who's these people that are saying that? Like, how'd you guys start another room and came up with that assumption?
Yeah, I didn't start the room. People, as you know, if you're new to Clubhouse, people are going to come up with crazy stuff all the time. So people did. There was a suggestion that you were BHI, and other people said there's no information to that. So it's not clear. But what the room was more about was the concern that some of the statements that you were making in that room were dangerous to Jews, such as yourself and myself.
The lady name was Alumni. Alumni was the lady's name. That's what her name was.
Sure, very good.
She was saying a lot of negative things about you and making up stuff. I told her that she cannot bear false witness, and I'm not even an Israelite. I'm just a Christian. And she was saying a lot of negative things. And I was trying to tell her that that's not what was happening.
Yeah, that's correct.
So, Andrew, I'm sure you're
quick. I want the brother,
lady.
because he had the stuff. There's something he wanted to say. He was getting to something.
Thank you.
Andrew was making that statement.
Yeah, thank you, sir. For instance, some of the statements made in the earlier room, for instance, you say that anti-Semitism is about Semites. It's not. It's a defined term about Jews. It was a word used to negatively define Jews as they were trying to kill us. So it has nothing to do with Semites. It was a man who started that. Anyone could look into that. So that's the kind of thing the room was about, is some of the statements that were made in that room that were factually incorrect.
I don't know if I agree with that, because Semite is an abbreviation of Semitic.
Yes, sir. But
So
I'm just saying the name. I hear you. I'm just saying that how the word was invented, someone used the word Semite because of the language group that Jews and other people are in. But the word means hatred for Jews. It does not mean.
Now, Kat, I wanted to get to that point for a reason, because one thing that I notice is we've had a lot of conversations on Clubhouse. And one of the things that I always notice is whenever you let someone from another nation in, like, remember early on Clubhouse, that sister phrased it best. They always suck all the air out the room.
Right.
They find a way to posture themselves and make it about their nation and their community, when the entire dialogue, you understand, as those brothers were guiding it, was literally about blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. But the only focus that they have on is this quote unquote definition of anti-Semitism and anything that they feel is dangerous to them, because that's always their focus. It's never going to be on anyone else.
Right. Correct. That's absolutely correct. Right. And brother, you know, if you want to chime in or say something, you know, you can always chime in. I don't know if you ever heard this audio of your brother. So what you're hearing is the Israelites that interviewed, that's one voice. You got your brother Amar'E, that's another voice. And then the guy Andrew, that's the Jewish guy that's technically checking Amar'E for having an interview with us. So if you want to chime in, if you begin speaking, we'll hear your voice. I would definitely pause the audio, and then you'll be allowed to speak.
Yeah, right. No, man, this is all comical for me, man. Because like what people don't realize is people like this, like him, they're really just puppets, man.
Right.
They got a mind of their own, but only a piece of it. You know, so for me, this is comical because for me personally, even if he was on point with his practice, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You guys seem like you know the truth about things. And even if he was on point, it'll still be comical for me, because I don't find it possible to care that much about your people and skip over family. I mean, family first.
Right.
So it's just a tell sign that, you know, I can't take none of this stuff serious from him.
Gotcha.
So it's all puppet. You got somebody, ever since he made it, pretty much somebody hand up his ass, and you know, that's how it's gonna come out. You're gonna get a little bit of the real him, and then you're gonna get a lot of bogus stuff, and you're gonna get a lot of flip flopping. The same way he does with this, you know, it's like that with everything. But that's all. I just want the people to realize that people like this are puppets. You can't really take them too serious, because he really only know what somebody's telling him.
Right.
Or he's only going about learning the way somebody's telling him to go about learning. So I don't take it serious, because he's not himself. But that's my narrative of how that really is.
Gotcha. Is there any more? How much more are we going to play, sir? I mean, Kadaza.
I'm gonna play a little bit more here, and then I'm gonna jump to the next part.
Okay, no problem.
Hatred for Semites, if that makes sense.
Well, no one ever clarified that. That's my
no
first
problem,
time
sir. No, that's what I'm saying. Is there's people pro and con in that room, and as Dee said, it did get a little crazy. So people are just concerned that some of the things that you were saying, people are listening to and saying, "Oh, that's what that means." Like, I'll encourage anybody to look up the history of the word anti-Semite. No, I'm not lying to you. I'm honestly not.
This is exactly what happened to Kyrie. Hold on 1 second. Let me say it, because that's the point. This is what we're talking about right here. Now, I want to make sure when they say that matter of fact,
and now I'm fast forwarding right now, but that's where the whole thing came from. So just to give even a little bit more backdrop on this conversation, this was during the same time, you understand, that Ye and Kyrie came under attack, you understand, for trying to proclaim their own identity.
Yep.
Hey, I just want before you play, Kadaza, I just want to highlight this comment, right? This comment from an Israelite is weird to me. So it says, imagine going in on your own brother, right or wrong, bro. This ain't the way, right? So as he says that, right, the scriptures that come into mind, is two of them specifically. Matthew's the 10th chapter. I'm going to go to Matthew's 10 and 34. This says, think not that I come to send peace on earth. This is Christ speaking. I came not to send peace, but a sword. I'm come to set a man at variance against his father, the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foes shall be those of his own household. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. He that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. He that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it. That scripture, and I want to just read one more. This is Matthew 12 and 47. I'm sorry, 46. It says, while he talked to the people, behold, his mother and his brethren stood without, desiring to speak with him. Then one said unto him, behold, thy mother and thy brethren stand without, desiring to speak with thee. But he answered and said unto him that told him, who is my mother, and who are my brethren? And he stretched forth his hands towards his disciples, and said, behold, my mother and my brethren. Christ had physical fathers. A physical father. He had a physical mother. He had physical brothers, just like we all got physical mothers, physical brothers, and a physical father. But if you're not doing the will of the Father, then that's not your brother. That brother on that screen, that's my brother. Jarrell, that's my brother. Doing the will of the Father is what makes you brothers. And what we're supposed to do is not be respecter of persons, regardless of who it is. Christ said his mother wasn't his mother. Why? Because them that do the will of my Father are my mother and my brother. You can keep going, Cottage. I just wanted to edify the people. I'm mad I used that word just now.
Or DHI. He never did.
Sir, to be clear, I never said he did.
Hold on. As a matter of fact, the whole world knows his faith. And he's been in this faith for a long time. He left the NBA and they embraced him in Israel. So for people who are trying to, strain at a gnat right now, you're swallowing a camel. And this is just wrong for you to say yes and no, and then say, oh, well, yes. Like, you don't even sound like you believe what you're saying.
No, I do, sir. I think
I
it's a
just
nuanced discussion.
very
It deserves
hypocritical.
nuanced answers.
I just want to make one quick point.
Hold on, real quick. I'm gonna make a quick
Hey,
point.
y'all get it.
I just
Y'all
think
just
it's very
one at a
hypocritical.
time. One at a time, brothers. And we
I got you.
Station.
No sweat. I just think it's very hypocritical. That's all I want to say, man. Like, how are you saying yes or no? The brother doesn't deserve backlash for his faith and his opinion, and that's the problem.
Okay, let me ask you this. Let me ask Andrew a question.
Go ahead, sir.
If you don't mind me asking Andrew a question. Out of that conversation that you witnessed, what was inaccurate, and what did I say that you and the lady thought was inaccurate?
Got you. Thank you. Inaccuracies, for instance, as we just talked about, the definition of anti-Semitism, that was inaccurate. The statement
now, would that be two assumptions? Because I think
no, I was saying the other
a
one.
lot of times when I made the statement back in 2000, I think it was 2020, 21, when I said that I think someone else I think one of the football players made a considered anti-Semitic slur, and I went on my Instagram. It's still on my Instagram story when I said that African Americans have an identity crisis, and if we say anything anti-Semitic, then we're also showing our ignorance. But I didn't hear anything.
Now, that's one of the points right there, Cap, that I wanted to give a little. Like, he's trying to show how long he's been standing with them. You know what I'm saying? As far as continuing to speak out. So meaning, I have to protect this community.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this community that, they took our land, that America had, like, something goes wrong in Gaza and America sends the largest naval ship in the world. Do you think they need Amar'E Stoudamire in order to protect them? You know what I'm saying? But also in the fact of what he's about to flip. So remember that they were talking about things that was in the dialogue and then things that started to get flipped. This is one of the points right here.
From the community stating that was inaccurate when it comes to anti-Semitic slur. So now I'm hearing this all of a sudden. So that's why I'm a bit confused.
No, I hear you. And I was not around then, so I can't speak to that. I'm just saying in that room, that was one thing that mentioned. The other one was your statement about the Judeans. I have the exact quote here. I'm sorry, sir. One sec. A lot of Judeans went into the slave trade. That is factually inaccurate.
That is not inaccurate. That's proven by the rabbinical court in Nigeria. It says 70% of the Nigerian slaves that left out of Nigeria were from the Judean regions, from the Igbo tribes. There's been proof stating that the
So
Igbo
maybe,
tribes.
so perhaps, so you're
There's
saying,
been proof
sir,
stating that the
let me
Igbo tribes
understand.
are.
You're saying that
Okay.
by you say went into the slave trade, you were saying, because this might have been taken incorrectly. It was taken in the room by meaning that Judeans, meaning Jews, were involved in the selling of slaves. You mean Judeans from Africa were taken? In your opinion, Judeans
That's
from
what I said.
Africa were
I
taken.
said the Judeans were taken into slavery by the Atlantic slave trade,
Gotcha.
meaning
And the
they
reason
were
why that
meaning
was
they were taken.
I hear you.
Meaning
And
they
the
were
reason why
taken
that was
captive.
misunderstood, sir, is because the video and the book in question that Kyrie was talking about blamed Jews for the slave trade. So I think that's why there's
I
those
don't know.
two
I
things
don't know.
are.
I don't know. But the
Wait.
question that was asked
No,
to
it
me
didn't.
about
No, it
the
didn't.
Now, Kev, that's it right there. Now, once again, instead of them turning around dealing with the information at hand, they bring up Hebrews to Negroes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then now, once they bring that up, now they try to turn around and then once again try to take, because everybody knows who insured the slave trade. Everybody understands that, like, when you go and you look at, you know what I'm saying, chattel slavery, it was, you understand, small hat companies who were a part of insuring every single ship and the quote unquote cargo, which you understand, which was, you understand, slaves, straight up and down.
It was the banks, all of the banks that you see, the insurance companies that you see that are run by Jewish people are the ones that's how the slave, like that's how the insurance companies and banks started, because we were cargo.
And now the reason why I went here is because I don't know if you remember what they did with Nick Cannon. Like, after Nick Cannon turned around and then said that, you understand, he was an Israelite, they made him sit down with a rabbi to go through sensitivity training and learn about their pain when they don't even understand that it's their people who ensured, you understand, the transatlantic slave trade.
Yeah. And I just want to say to anybody that may feel like I'm going in on my brother and all this and I'm bashing, but I'll be the first to say none of this is malicious. Like I said before, he's not. He don't have an evil heart. He's not a bad person from the inside. You know, when it comes to how to feel about people, having compassion or whatever. So none of this is malicious. He's not really like F all the black people for real. Like, but this is just somebody that's trying to fit in. So this is what you get. And it's messed up because he has such a big, such a pedestal, you know, that his voices reach the masses. But that's how it goes. I mean, a lot of things that we get from those people, I mean, we'd be surprised what's really authentic and what's really just them being a puppet.
Do you believe that he would financially help, you know what I'm saying, their community, you know what I'm saying, before somebody y'all came up with?
Yeah, for sure.
You see, and that's like, go ahead. I'm sorry, brother. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. I mean, put it like this: if he had a meeting with one of those people, and say he had a meeting at 8:00, and I call him at 7:00 and said, me and my family, the house burnt down, and we're outside, we don't know where to go. He ain't coming. He going straight to the rabbi, whoever the person is. Yeah, he definitely whatever he's buying into is what he's buying into. And whenever he buys into something, it's off with everybody else's head. Whoever can't keep up. So yeah, he'll definitely he'll definitely do something for them first and foremost.
Man, that's like Cap. You still got a copy of that book, $40 Million Slave? No, it's not on the shelf above you. You lying.
I'm dead ass. It's right here.
You see that?
Yeah.
Yo,
I got it right here.
Now, $40 million slave might sound crazy, man, but like when you read that book, it goes through some of the intricacies and what happens when you understand when brothers get signed. And one of the first things they try to do is isolate you and separate you from your family, from people you came up with, who you support, who you give your money to. Even when it comes down to, you understand, all the sweat and labor that you do for a trophy, you don't even keep at the end of the year. That goes in, you understand, some owner's office, right?
Wow.
You got anything on that, Cat?
No, I'm sorry. I didn't hear you. I was standing
No,
up.
I was talking about some of the excerpts from the books that it talks about how they directly try to separate you. You know what I'm saying? After you put all that work in just for a
Right.
trophy that, you understand, goes to the owner's box.
Yeah, that's what they would do. What they would do, this book isn't highlighted. I had did a whole breakdown on this. On the 4th of July, they would have them run all, play the game. They would get like a knife or something, but the trophy would go to the slave master, what Kadazai is talking about. And the money that you get, what we have to remember is that, and what I want to highlight too, shout out to Faith Love. I see you put her comment on the stage, and where it said the man said F us out, because you got women like Blood of Judah and men like Elijah, who are the reason Amar'E and the likes can say what they say about black people, and we want to cover up what they said about black people. That's why I think people are missing why we're here. We're not here because Amar'E is like a basketball player that we're just hating on. Jarrell is not on this room. We would not be speaking with Jarrell at all if he didn't say F black people. Now, every time a celebrity says something about black people, and then we get to the point of and we get to the point where we want somebody to say something about it, somebody to speak up for him, and then the brother Jarrell comes on and speak up for him. It's always a sister like Blood of Judah. You know, them sisters be the main one capping for sellouts. And Elijah, another man, is capping for sellouts. That are the reason that sellouts can continue to be sellouts. And then we're looked at as the bad guy because we want to expose the sellouts. I don't see it. Like if Jarrell got on here, let's say Amar'E don't say nothing like that, and we got this room tighter than Jarrell just going on Amar'E, it's gonna be like, man, he mad at Amar'E because of money, or he mad at Amar'E because he made it and he didn't. That's not why we're here. We're here because as we play the audio, as I read the article, it's clear that in one breath he supported black people, but when the white man came, he left black people. Is that not our history in America? Who stands for black people when the pressure is really on? Nobody. Like Israelites do, like we do, but our leaders, or who we deem as leaders, or people that are in positions to actually stand for black people. And then even from Amar'E's position, he chose to come and talk to Corey and talk to Yawasaki. He chose to come. He wasn't forced to come on their channel. He wasn't forced to say the things that he said. So he represented himself as somebody that's standing with black people. It's not our fault that he lied. It's not our fault that when the money comes, he's gonna fold. This is what makes us Israelites the number one commodity for black people, because we don't fold. We'll never fold. And I think that should be more so spoken about. So I didn't want to keep you too long. I know we said about an hour or so, Jarrell. So I didn't know if there was anything you wanted to bring out in closing.
No, I mean I'm really learning myself, hearing all this and reading all this. But
Oh, definitely. Hey, what city are you in, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm in Wichita, Kansas.
Oh, no sweat, man. Kadazai, I believe y'all have each other's numbers. Kadazai gonna get you the number and stuff that you can call for that area, and you know we can get started. And you never know what this bring. We have Jarrell up there in camp teaching with us. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
You know, I mean, I look forward to that. But is there anything else that you wanted to say, like in closing, before we go ahead and end the show?
No, just to speak up on his behalf. You know, for the people. You know, you hear somebody like that say "F us" and all that stuff, and I'm just wanting people to really understand how far being a puppet goes, and just understand that this is a person who is lost, trying to find their way, you know, and we we go the wrong direction sometimes. But I know he don't really mean that. But being so much of a sellout the way it's been, and so disconnected from your people, it's just, I just don't. That's my problem. So I just want people to understand, it's not a bashing, but we just telling the truth. But to be able to read, I'm here to help people read in between the lines.
Right.
Because I know him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So so we definitely should be speaking against the flip flopping, and we definitely should be speaking up for ourselves as a people. But yeah, that's a puppet, man. You can't. Some things you gotta take it with a grain of salt, because whatever it takes to fit in, or whatever he's trying to do, that's what's gonna happen. And like I said before, it's more people like him. So we just gotta pretty much take that voice away from them type of people.
And I think that's one of the things that we talked about was, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when they get in that position, it's twofold. One, just because somebody says or that they're a quote unquote Israelite doesn't make them a leader inside the community, and doesn't mean that they're for us. And two, that, you know, they should be scrutinized, not just because, you know what I'm saying, we shouldn't just look up to somebody because they got, you know, NBA superstardom, you know what I'm saying, but are they actually for, you understand, our people or not? You know what I'm saying? Because once again, it seems we see the side that he picked. And that's why I said earlier, white love will make you hate black. You know what I'm saying? Right. And it's like blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, we need each other now more than ever, because Israel's going to get all the aid in the world. The state of Israel, that is. But the real Israelites that's inside the ghettos and the barrios, you know what I'm saying, we're going to continue to be overlooked. And that's where, you understand, our love and resources need to be.
Yeah, and I mean, I just wanted to be known that people like this, there's not going to be a person like this who only has a problem with that. Who, you know, you're not going to find somebody who got their stuff together as a man, as a family, and everything else, and they just against the people. No, I feel like him and other people like him, once you start digging, you'll realize that is who these people are. And we can't, like you said, we got to take that voice away, and we got to give it to the right people. People who's actually living it.
That's right. And that's why we appreciate you coming in once again, man. Welcome to Cross the Line Radio. Today's room, we titled it Jarrell Stoudamire Speaks Against His Brother Amar'E Stoudamire'S FU Black Statement. We appreciate Jarrell coming in here, giving us a little more insight as to why Amar'E would take that position. What we found out was that Amar'E was kind of always like this, segueing into it, and he chose the money over family. And I think, let's say, if he even had a family issue, because families can have issues. Having a family issue does not mean you betray all black people or say F you to black people if they don't stand with the Israelis. When most black people don't even know what's going on between the Israelis and Palestine. They don't know who started it. They don't know who winning it. They don't know who's right. They don't know who's wrong. They don't know none of that. But Amar'E wants you to know that, and then say F you if you don't. So Jarrell, we definitely appreciate you. We're gonna end it. I do got one thing I want to play. This is kind of off subject, but I definitely wanted to make sure that you was cool, that you was able to get your voice out, let your voice be heard. I think the audience really loved. Hold on, wait. I think the audience really loved. Oh, there we go. I think the audience really loved what you had to say, despite a few naysayers. But I think you're always gonna have naysayers when you're speaking something powerful. Because our people, unfortunately, our people love our oppressor. They love it to where they can be so blinded. Like there's a we always say we become our own worst enemy. And that's an example of what we're seeing in this context. So I definitely appreciate you being brave enough to come out and speak. And I look forward to seeing what you could do once Kadazai gets you that information. And so I'm going to end it right there. This part of the interview, I'm going to end it right there. You can stay if you want, or you can exit. But we definitely appreciate you coming in here. Before we close out, Kadazai, Y'all know April 20th, we having the Lord's Passover in Durham, North Carolina. What Captain Zakar did, what General Haas and Captain Zakar did was they secured the hotel. Now, this hotel, we're having the whole hotel. It won't be like, in normal circumstances, we get a hotel, but we sharing it with other people. In this circumstance, the whole hotel, the whole building belongs to us. So what we need y'all to do is to get your reservations. So I want to play a quick video if I can before we close out. Let me just share my screen. Let me see if I can find this video. That's Chrome, window, entire screen. So I'm going to share the entire screen. I'm going to shrink this down.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes, you can, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, I can get together with you guys because I definitely got a story to tell. You know what I'm saying? To get down to the real personal issues and stuff. I got a story to tell. So hopefully, I can do it through you guys.
Oh, definitely
in the future.
Definitely. Listen, this ain't gonna be the end of it. That's why Kadazai is gonna get you the information that you need so that you can actually get whatever it is, that you need to get. So definitely, this is definitely not the end. I look forward, like I say, hearing from you. Lord allow, you'll be at the Passover that we're gonna have. Can Kadazai, can you see my screen or no?
No.
Okay, hold on. Let me go back to it.
When you hit present, you want to select the specific window.
Yeah, I think hold on. Let me see. Hope I didn't mess nothing up. Let me see if I can grab this back.
And just for everyone who knows, man, the Passover is open to all blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what your religion, faith, background is, you know what I'm saying? Come through and break bread.
When I'm trying to do it, it gives me just a Chrome tab. This is why I hate Macs. If this wasn't a Mac, I'd be on point. Lock it. But one thing I can say though, Kadazai, I'm learning a lot with this funky I'm trying to refrain from saying certain languages and trying to work on myself, as they say. Did I just say that out loud?
Yeah, you did.
I'm trying not to be so bullheaded when it comes to let me see, say share video file. Let me see if I can find the video file. Bear with me 1 second. I'm just trying to see the name of this video that I just downloaded. Is this okay? I think I got it. Let me see. Let's see if this shares. Okay, can y'all see that?
Yeah, I see it now.
Okay, all right, there we go. So, all right, so this is about the Passover. I'm just gonna play this video. Y'all just pay attention and watch. And what y'all are seeing, if y'all don't know, I'm gonna bring it back. Y'all are seeing the hotel that General Haas and Captain Zakar secured for the Lord's Passover, April 20th in Durham, North Carolina.
Silence.
Yeah, we just got demonetized, Salakia. That's all I thought about. Yeah. But make sure, listen, and if y'all need anybody, y'all can contact Captain Zakar. He said I could give his number out. He gonna hate this part. His phone number is 718-709-6606. That's Captain Zakar. You want to secure the hotel now. I believe the link should be out. I know I'll be sharing it, and we got the whole hotel, so we don't have to worry about no strangers. You damn they ain't got to lock nothing. You ain't damn they ain't got to lock no doors or nothing like that, because it's gonna be an all UPK hotel. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and rock with that. One more thing, y'all know next Thursday is the start of the cookout in California. Big up to Captain Gadar Hall. I know I'll be out there for that. So that's Thursday, Friday, Saturday is the cookout. So looking forward to seeing all my brothers and sisters out there in California. If you're traveling out there, make sure you come. I got some new oils I'm bringing out there. I got 3 new oils for the sisters, and none of them are dirty names. Y'all been trying to get on me about the names. So the 3 oils I got, one is called Red Velvet, so that's nice and clean. One is called Purple, because it looks purple. That's nice and clean. And then Sophisticated. And then I got Adawan for the Akim. This one is called. Now, I got Adawan for the Akim, right? Now, can that be a good one for the brothers, or should sisters have it? I'm just trying to think, because I remember when I did the Finish Her and Finish Him. Remember, Finish Him was for fellas at first, but then a fella couldn't walk up to a sister. They say, what this mean? Finish him. A man can't say to another man, finish him. But I think this is cool if they ask what it means. This is Adawan. And of course, you can say, what does it mean? It means Lord. So those are oils I got. Coming out with more oils out there. If y'all got any, we're at in Cali. We're gonna be in Cali. We're gonna be the cookout. I believe is in Rancho Cucamonga, which I didn't even know that was a real place. I thought that was something that they made up. I thought that was something they made up for the movie Friday. I did not know Rancho Cucamonga was a real place. But let me scroll down on Gadar Halls. I'll give y'all the layout of the schedule. Give me 1 second. All right, so Thursday we're gonna be. The school is at 246 East Highland Ave in San Bernardino, California. That's where class is going to be at Thursday. Matter of fact, General Mayak will be doing Ask Ye the Prophets at 11 a.m. on Thursday. Scripture breakdown will be 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Thursday, followed by One West Radio with Gadar Hall at 9:30. Following right up after that. Friday, we'll be at camp on Hollywood Boulevard. That's from 1 to 6. And then we'll be right back at the school in San Bernardino. Then the cookout is at Garcia Park in Rancho Cucamonga, California. So that's the schedule. So looking forward to seeing y'all. Hope y'all come out there and travel with us. And with that, we're going to go ahead and close it out. Again, we appreciate Jarrell joining in. This has been another. Good.
Hey, just let people know the Stoudamire brothers is coming from out of the shadows.
Okay.
You know, my little brother Calvin Stoudamire on Instagram.
Okay.
Calvin Stoudamire. He's into fashion. He got a suit line he's trying to get off the ground. So if anybody got anything they can do to help that or
definitely, man. Listen, yeah, give up give Kadazai that information, man, because like when we do our shows regularly on Thursday, that's something that can be promoted. Like we promote black businesses on our radio show, so you could definitely hit up Kadazai. He'll make sure that brother's suit and ties. Is it suit and ties?
It's suits. It's full suits.
Okay, full suits. Okay, we like
and
to
my Instagram,
get a little fly.
My Instagram, Jarrell Stoudamire. Y'all come check me out. I'm about to come out of the shadows too.
Okay.
Got some music coming.
Okay.
And stuff like that. So might be starting the podcast sometime soon, but right now we coming from out of the shadows. So everybody be on notice. Jarrell Stoudamire, Calvin Stoudamire.
Perfect, man. I appreciate it, man. So again, it's been another Cross the Line radio show exclusive. Kadazai was at the helm of this, man. I appreciate him, allow me to be a part of it. We definitely the dynamic duo of the quintessential Judite and Ephraimite connection, the bow and the arrow. So with that, we say shalom, Israel. We'll see y'all next time.
Hey, shalom, y'all.
Hey, shalom, brother.